The city was alive with flickering neon lights and the distant hum of traffic. For Charlie, however, the streets were nothing but a cold, endless maze. Once, he had a home. Once, he had Emma, his best friend, his everything. But now, he was just another forgotten shadow. Tonight, the rain poured mercilessly, soaking through his muddy golden fur. He huddled under an abandoned newspaper stand, shivering. His stomach growled, but hunger was an old companion. He had learned to live with it. As he rested his head on his paws, a faint scent drifted through the air. It was familiar. Lavender and vanilla. Charlie's ears perked up. His heart pounded. Emma. Could it be? He hadn't seen her in months. Since the day the door shut in his face, since the night his world crumbled. His paws twitched with hesitation, but his heart knew the truth. He had to follow the scent. Charlie hadn't always been a stray. He once belonged to a world of warmth and love, to a girl whose laughter made his tail wag uncontrollably. Emma found him on a rainy afternoon, much like this one. He was a tiny golden furball, trembling near a garbage can, abandoned and scared. When she scooped him into her arms, he felt something he had never felt before, safety. From that day forward, he was her shadow. He waited at the door when she went to school, played in the park with her until sunset, and curled up next to her in bed every night. They were inseparable. Until that night. It happened so fast. Emma's parents were packing hurriedly, their voices tense. Something about moving away and no pets allowed. Charlie didn't understand human words, but he understood one thing: he wasn't going with them. The last thing he remembered was Emma crying, trying to hold on to him, but a strong hand pulled her away. The door slammed shut. And she was gone. Charlie waited outside the house for days. Every night, he scratched at the door, whimpering. But no one answered. Days turned into weeks, and hunger forced him to leave. The streets were harsh and unforgiving. He scavenged for food, dodged aggressive strays, and learned to trust no one. But he never stopped hoping. Every girl with blonde hair made him turn his head. Every voice that sounded like Emma's made his heart race. But it was never her. Until tonight. Charlie followed the scent through the winding streets, weaving through crowds, ignoring the honking cars and shouting pedestrians. His paws hurt. His body ached. But he kept moving. Finally, he reached a cozy cafe on a quiet street. His heart stopped. Under the awning, shielding herself from the drizzle, stood Emma. She was taller now, older. Her golden hair was tied in a messy ponytail, a book in one hand, a coffee cup in the other. But Charlie would recognize those eyes anywhere. A lump formed in his throat. Would she even remember him? He hesitated, his paws frozen on the wet pavement. He wasn't the same fluffy, bright-eyed puppy she loved. He was dirty, thin, unrecognizable. And then, she looked up. Her eyes locked onto his. A sharp intake of breath. A flicker of disbelief. And then, Charlie. Her coffee cup slipped from her hand, shattering on the ground. Charlie whimpered. He wanted to run to her but feared she would turn away. But she didn't. She ran. Straight to him. She fell to her knees, her hands trembling as she reached out. Oh my God. Charlie. It's really you. Charlie couldn't hold back anymore. He lunged into her arms, his body shaking, his tail wagging furiously. Tears streamed down her face as she hugged him tightly, whispering his name over and over. I'm so sorry, she choked out. I never stopped looking for you. Charlie buried his face in her chest, inhaling the scent of home. He wasn't lost anymore. He had found his way back. Emma took Charlie home that night. She bathed him, fed him, and wrapped him in the softest blanket. For the first time in months, Charlie slept without fear, without cold, without hunger. He was home. And this time, he knew, he would never be left behind again. No pet deserves to be abandoned. If you see a stray, show kindness. If you like this video, thumbs up and subscribe for more heartwarming stories.